Shadowbringers. Let's go. The Circus Trench. Tataru's itching to share what appears to be good news. Okay.
Good news, Kat. We've had a stroke of luck in our search for that beacon. Apparently, our colleagues have stumbled across a hidden path leading down into the hollows around the base of the Crystal Tower. A path I doubt we'd ever have found had the Ironworks and the Sons not added their numbers to the party. Thanks to them, we have eager eyes aplenty down there, checking under rocks and peering into every nook and cranny. Still, it sounds like there's a lot of ground to cover.
Then we better go give them a hand.
My thoughts exactly. The sooner we find this beacon, the sooner you can travel to wherever it is this mysterious voice is coming from. And the sooner we can work out how to help our friends. We have to find a way to wake them up, and before the Empire becomes calling again, meaning we have no time to lose. There's a boat in North Silvertier waiting to ferry people to the site, so let's be on our way.
Ooh, new music, chat. Ooh. We got new music.
I love the explanation of there's this path that we never noticed before while exploring and documenting stuff about this area.
Yeah. Surprise.
Heading to the survey site, sir. It's on the eastern shore of the lake, and the swiftest way to get there is by boat.
All right.
Not by all the flying you do for some reason.
For some reason. Hi, Tataru. Where are we? All right. Oh, it's a cutscene. Oh, they all flickered in and out. It's probably fine.
Look how many people there are. Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
Biggs! Wedge!
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business. So we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
I love how hard they all emote during stuff like that, and it's like watching a play.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no!
Tataru's ready.
I didn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
You guys hear that? Tataru's not afraid to get dirty.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in. What's that you got there? Now that looks promising.
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Now I have you.
That was ominous.
You are right.
What's happening?
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse contract. Eon become instant.
Wait, this must be it. The device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Tataru gets it.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
Oh, I love that Tataru just is like so supportive. I like how they've been down here looking for this thing for how long, and we take 2 seconds and find it.
It is a day for faded dreams.
For showing me the dawn's light will shine again.
Oh, do not look at me so.
You're slaves to a tyrant. There's no freedom in that.
This is one battle you cannot fight. Away with you!
I must say your spirited accounts of things comes in welcome change.
We did everything right! Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this!
Your time has not yet come.
From endless dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Rare to meet someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
What do you mean this time of night?
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me granddad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time. And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you, he'd reply.
Yeah.
Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when.
Well, thank you for that, lore. 100 years of daytime.
You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then. Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you'd best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Dizzying heights it rises, the gleaming spire, its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy. There, it will all begin anew, between dark and light, the pure and the corrupt, the one true struggle.
Shadowbringers. All right. We're in a pretty lavender place, chat. Honestly, aesthetically, one of my favorite areas just in general. Oh, cussing.
Halt!
Hey, girl hat.
Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not. This is the threshold of the Crystarium, stranger, and I am its gatekeeper. If you would enter, you will answer my questions.
Do I have a gate key?
What?
From where do you hail?
Gridania, the Source, or Dots? I guess, like, I would say Gridania in this situation. Because, yes, I do hail from there.
Do you take me for a fool? No such place exists.
Ma'am?
Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin, but instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Oh. What the fuck?
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand. Ring and all.
Wait. I was gonna say, is it gonna show us? It is! Oh, he died! What? Well, that was quick! F's chat?
Everything all right, Captain?
Feet.
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
I see. Weak or not, we should be on the lookout for more. But I see you've met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Get fucked.
Another of your mysterious friends, is it? I should have known. Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city. Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
She reminds me of someone from Castlevania. With that accent. Icelandic? Oh, okay. Thank you, River.
Right then. Before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons. I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief. And so, we come to the question of where. The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
Are the other scions here, or do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused? I'll say, are the other scions here? Do you understand how much of a menace you are?
That is a question with no simple answer. But all shall be explained in due course, I promise you.
What the fuck does that mean, bro?
Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light. It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning. A luminous flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost. And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them. The creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity. It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes. And though it meant depriving a world of its champion, I had to try, for in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well. But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us continue our talk within the Crystarium.
All right. So fucking pretty. Oh, Oh, never mind, just kidding.
Such a proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol, a monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
The Crystarium Reborn. We are here! And here we are. Welcome, my friend, to the Crystarium.
Thanks.
Loot.
I think this is the exact same weapon I have, actually, so I'm not going to open it just yet. City of the First. The Crystal Exarch has a request for you. Now, a full and frank discussion in the privacy of my study would seem to be in order. But I think our conversation would be more meaningful were you first to gain a firmer grasp of the situation here. To that end, I would like you to visit a few of the Crystarium's civic leaders and glean something of this world and its predicament. As you can see, this path will take you directly to the Aetheryte, a convenience with which I am sure you are only too familiar. Being the rightful object of my summoning spell, you should in theory be able to reach all the way back along your etheric trail and find a connection to the source, believe it or not. I strongly suggest you complete this attunement before venturing any further. Thanks. After you have done so, walk up the steps next to the Aetheryte and head out to the left to arrive at the Crystalline Mean. This is where you'll find our collective of crafters and gatherers, as well as their spokeswoman, Catliss, one of the people I should like you to meet. Another is Morin. To reach him and his cabinet of curiosity, you'll want to avoid the aforementioned steps. Take the exit to the left and simply continue straight along and down until you come to two large doors at the end of the path. To the third and final person I should like you to meet is Bragi, our man in charge of trade and distribution. He is to be found in the markets, where you can access from the opposite side of the Aetheryte Plaza. In seeking out each of my colleagues, you will visit the major districts of the city and hopefully gain a feel for the place. I trust my directions were simple enough. Crystal clear. Ha, very good. I concede the layout of the Crystarium owes more to historic necessity than planning, but I'm sure you'll learn its twists and turns before long. In all honesty, the true challenge may be in finding the right way to approach its citizens. As you discovered during your encounter with the captain, the people of this world are unaware of the existence of the other stars, and will struggle to accept the truth of your origin. That being the case, when they ask whence you hail, as they inevitably will, I suggest you claim to share a homeland with the Crystal Exarch. There is an unspoken rule here about peering too deeply into that particular mystery. When you've finished making the rounds, pray meet me in the large courtyard at the center of town. Until then. Da 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 da. You're attuned to the Aetherite. By focusing your senses, you detect the flow of vastly distant currents of Aether. Your connection to these energies is faint but stable, and should allow teleportation to Aetherites on the source. Can I make it favored? Okay. Now it's cheaper. I love these. These are pretty. I love how, like, imperfect they are. They're very jagged, raw minerals. All right, Braggy. Oh.
New to the city, friend? The spinning head and wide eyes gave you away. Welcome. My name is Braggy, and I'm the master of these markets. They gave the district another official title, but I'm not in the habit of using it. Too florid by half. In any case, our merchants stock a range of equipment for Vs such as yourself, so finding something in your size shouldn't be a problem.
I'm sorry, did you say Vise?
Aye? Something wrong?
Oh, look, an Amalja.
Let's see if we can straighten this out. See those two in front of us? The shorter one is a Hume.
Instead of Hure.
And the taller one is an elf.
Which, I mean, is what Elizin probably should have been called, but yes, Elizin.
That sturdy individual over there is a Galgent.
Which is Rogadin.
Whilst the one with the horns is a Dran.
Which is Ara.
And then you have the large, scaly chaps with long tails and a knack for raising livestock. Those would be the Zune.
Amalja. And what are you?
Which is apparently not the name you know them by. Now I'm curious to know which far-flung region you hail from.
Where the Exarch is.
Ah, the same as the Exarch, eh? Well, that explains it. You don't get much further flung than that. We've had a few of your lot pass through in recent years, and despite their obvious learning, they floundered over the simplest things. But not to worry. Should you find yourself confused by the local language or customs, I'll be here to answer your questions.
Your exchange with Bragai has taught you about the peoples of the First. He didn't tell me what Hrothgar are. Well, fine. Guess I don't need to know, damn. You ready, Morin?
Sure.
Ooh.
Excuse me, sir. Are you recently come to the city, perchance? I'm quite familiar with their civic roles, you see, and well, what I mean to ask is, have you brought any books with you? A rumpled scroll even? A scrap of scribbled on parchment? My apologies. Literature is something of an obsession of mine, as well as a profession. Librarian Morin at your service.
and this humble collection is known as the Cabinet of Curiosity. As your powers of perception have likely informed you, my colleagues and I are responsible for curating all matter of tomes, documents, and other vehicles for the written word. As horrific as the loss of life and land wrought by the flood unquestionably was, the damage to recorded knowledge was no less catastrophic. We few do all we can to preserve what wisdom survived. But tell me, what brings you to the cabinet today? Looking for any title in particular? Mayhap a spot of academic research? Oh, so you've an interest in modern history? Splendid. A thorough review of recent events can often yield novel perspectives, I quite agree. If you would prefer something visual to accompany the account, then I think I have an illustrated history book for children somewhere. Just a moment and I'll fetch it for you, as you look particularly stupid.
Yeah, that's fair. My wool has one brain cell. And it's shared with every other wool.
And here we are. Would you like to pull up a chair? Make yourself more comfortable? On with the lesson, then.
Their face feels very familiar. The model.
100 years ago, or near enough not to matter, villains known as the Warriors of Light slew the Shadowkeeper, the Steward of Darkness. In the wake of this tainted deed, light began to pour into the world as if from unseen cracks. It pooled and swelled without cease, until the day an enormous blinding wave rose up and swept across our star. We called this calamity the Flood of Light. Everything it touched was leached of life and vigor, leaving naught behind but a luminous wasteland. Yet just when it seemed that all would be lost, a savior appeared before us. The Oracle of Light, she stood twixt us and approaching doom, and by her power did she stay the flood. Thus was Norvrand, and Norvrand alone spared the fate of erasure.
She had a favorite, and it was Norvrand.
Tragedy would, however, arrive in another form. From the blasted emptiness descended horrors of strange and terrible aspect to bedevil the few folks who survived. These sin-eaters were light incarnate, and their fulgent presence stole the night from Norvin's sky. Even now, they circle the remaining bastions of civilization, ever on the hunt for us, ever hungering for our flesh. And thus did the world become what it is. Should you ever wish to hear the tale again, I would be glad to retell it for you, as apparently I have no work to do.
Nope, he's bored.
Or if you would rather I speak of other matters, that too would be my pleasure. I should be glad of the company.
Your exchange with Morin has taught you about the Flood of Light. All right.
Hi, Catless. I guess I'll be Catless.
Fitting.
Rare to see a place so well stocked with goods, isn't it? But not here. I'm going to guess you're new to our fair city. Well, for what it's worth, you've chosen a fine sanctuary. The Exarch can throw up a barrier if the Sin Eaters come knocking, So it's a damn sight safer in here than it is out there. Safer and more civilized, too. Thanks to us and the mean. We work together to procure materials and resources and craft the goods which make the city's life possible. This is the place to visit if you need a coat mended or a kettle forged. Just don't go thinking it'll all be handed to you on a plate like those Lemurian layabouts. Here in the Crystarium, we work for a living. Though I see you're no stranger to honest labor. You don't have that whiff of indolence about you like some folk I've met. Still, I can't quite pin down your profession. Where is it you're from? One of the Exarch's countrymen, you say? I see. Well then, I'll work twice as hard to make you feel at home. Feel welcome, same thing. Our city wouldn't even exist if it weren't for him, and any friend of his is a friend of ours. It's really quite incredible when you think about it. They say his grand magic summoned the Crystal Tower into existence, pulled the entire thing out of the thin air. It wasn't long before droves of refugees began congregating around its base, desperate for shelter after losing their homes to the flood. And that's how the Crystarium began. At the Exarch's invitation, buildings start going up, and with the help of some curious relics brought forth from the tower, the place gradually expanded into the thriving metropolis you see today. The city stood here for decades now, yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly like Yet the eldest among us swear the Exarch looks exactly the same as he did back then. He is indeed a man of many mysteries, but for all his secrecy, he has never let us down. So if he and you wish to remain silent about your shared homeland, then the folk here will respect your wish for privacy. I am, however, more than a little curious to see any craft and talent you might be hiding. If you've aught to contribute on that front, be sure to come back and visit once you've had a chance to settle in. Just ask for Catless, and I'll find you a niche here in the crystalline mean. You mean to help... Oh my god. You can help us keep the cogs of the city greasing and turning. Your exchange with Catless has taught you about the life in the Crystarium. Hey, yeah, a lot of Catless. Well, how did you fare? Did my colleagues help you form a clearer picture of this world and its people? Oh. What? Is this just like proof? An account of how the Exarch summoned the Crystal Tower. Oh, it's just like little notes I took, I guess. Yes, it seems you were treated to a most thorough introduction. I understand it was something of a chore, but 'twas necessary that you grasp these things before we proceed. As for the Crystal Tower's origin, you may have noted that details were sparse. The structure is, in fact, the selfsame one you know from the source, transported to the First in its entirety. It was my first attempt at breaching the boundaries between worlds, something of a trial run for your eventual crossing. And although I do not know which era I tore it from, I do know that its arrival served to set the wheels of fate in motion. All right. Travelers of Norvrant. The Crystal Exarch is finally ready to discuss the matter of your comrade's whereabouts. You've done as I requested, and learned something of the world in which you find yourself. Now it's time I fulfill my half of the bargain, and explained what has befallen your comrades. That is a conversation I would rather have in the privacy of my quarters, however. I must go on ahead to the tower and organize a few things, but I shall see that the guard knows to admit you. The tower's gate lies open then? Or just like that? Then Grahatia is? I'm not familiar with that name. Is there something I should know? An extraordinary tale, but I'm afraid I found no such individual residing in the tower when it passed into my care. Mayhap we can revisit that mystery another time. For now, I think it's best that we focus on the present. Okay.
F's in chat then.
Greetings, sir. The Exarch awaits you within.
Enter the Crystal Tower. Let's go. I'm ready. Oh, it's just a cutscene. That makes sense. Oh, it's so pretty. We never got to see this part of the Crystal Tower.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard. I have much to explain, but the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind. Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions. To put it simply, they are here in the First. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the Source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the First, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted. That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence, and thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Y'shtola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5.
Thancred's been here for 5 fucking years, and Y'shtola and Urianger 3 years.
Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the First for almost a year.
Alright.
My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are, in truth, merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom, they will not. Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here, unable to return.
They always gotta make Thancred the naked one. And find a way to send them back. What have they been doing all this time? I'll say find a way to send them back.
We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least. As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the First was rejoined with the Source. This collision of worlds brought about the 8th umbral calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die. And thus did the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the First, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain. For it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips. I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home. What say you? Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
For want of a better choice, but I'll see you keep that promise, or for the moment. I'll say but I'll see you keep that promise.
Excellent. You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road. Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary. I will arrange for a room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
I love that floor design. Oh, okay. We're free! The Crystarium boasts a number of residential districts, but I have been informed that a room has just become available at the Pendants. Which, as it turns out, is perfect. Our path there will take us past the markets, and I was hoping to give you my own introduction to their wares. Come along. I'm coming. Oh, shit. I mean, I know he said he wanted to show me wares, but still.
This is the Musica Universalis, the commercial heart of the Crystarium. What you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here. Ah, yes. You must be curious about the currency. Fear not. The gil you carry will serve you well enough. Each nation once minted its own coins, but 'twas all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much debate, the local merchants eventually elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here. And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice. From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough not to matter. Our way of life has benefited greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
Tombstones! I do love that it just looks like a cell phone cover. The camera and all.
But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your homeworld. Avan Kerm Sin?
Are you there, my friend?
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
My dear Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine gentleman is a friend from a distant realm. And we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
I love them so much.
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift. How wonderfully exciting. What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did. You've the heart of a pixie, you do. After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
I'm sorry? Also, I do love the cutout of their lower back. I didn't know it looked like that in the back.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah?
I didn't know you met Fayeoul this
Just as I
early.
thought! Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass.
You didn't know Fayeoul was right in the beginning?
I mean, I skipped all this, so...
They're literally how you do, like, putting your stuff on the market board, because your retainers can't go here. So if you ever do
Yeah,
market borders...
it.
Oh, but you never did retainers here to see her? See them?
I don't think so.
Oh my god, amazing.
From this moment forth I will be your Isnefis, and you my Snayak. Like the branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other.
I love that Snayak is adorable sapling. I missed what the first word was. Beautiful branch.
Raise your hand.
I do? I'm raising my hand, chat. Are you raising your hand? Oh, that kind of raising. I was raising it like an oath.
'Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap a message to your friends in the Source to inform them of your safe arrival.
I would assume Tataru, because Tataru's the one who saw us leave. Send him a
Consider it done.
Bye,
Can you even imagine all the flailing Tataru will do?
As you heard, that was Fayeoul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Fayo is insatiably curious even by pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium. Right, we were going to organize a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
They're non-binary. They're they, them. All the fairies are. Pixies. All the pixies are non-binary. None of them have gendered pronouns. They're all they, them. As a result of your pact with Fayeoul, you now have access to delivery Moogles, market boards, and summoning bells while in the First. Let's go. And now my outfit has been seen. I think this is the earliest we've seen an outfit we voted on. Ah, there you are. I was just finalizing the matter of your accommodation. You'll have a private room here at the Pendants for the duration of your stay, to make use of as you see fit. When you are ready to retire, the manager will show you to your lodgings. Pray rest and recuperate, and we shall reconvene in the ocular anon. I believe that covers all of the practical concerns. Thank you for answering my call, Kat. We are denied the comforting blanket of night, but may peaceful dreams attend you nonetheless. We got blackout curtains? All right, manager.
A pleasure to meet you, sir, and welcome to your new home at the Pendants. Your room is ready if you'd care to retire.
Retire to your quarters. Let's go. Oh, cutscene. Honestly, this is my favorite inn room in the whole game. I would live here. Studio apartment, don't care. I would live here.
But where are all your pets gonna go?
I'll get a second room.
You.
Actually, I think it's voice acted.
I know you. You're the warrior of light from the Source.
Hi, Ardbert. Who are you? He literally gave us his name. Why aren't we saying his name? Okay, the Warrior of Darkness?
What? Did you just... You can hear me? Oh, gods, how long has it been? That was what I called myself in your world. The Warrior of Darkness.
Why is it question marks? He literally told us his name back like an expansion ago.
My real name is Ardbert.
Thank you.
I used an alias in the source. A daft one, looking back.
He literally said his name. We know this. Did they forget they told us?
If you recall my tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source and tried to hasten their goddamned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia, how she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the First. The flood was poised to swallow Norvrand. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
About 100 years.
A 100 years. 100 long years. My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear. I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift. I feel as if I've been walking forever. I hardly noticed when my mind and body began to fray at the edges. Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
It's a great question. Here's the long story.
I don't know either.
You were summoned to save the First. A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who tried to save it. Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that.
So he thinks he's beyond saving.
But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end. Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light. But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
Poor Ardbert. That would suck. What? I sleep so stiffly. Also, where the fuck's my blanket? And I'm sleeping in the clothes I fight in.
Maybe it was hot.
Bless you. It might have been hot. That's true. And I'm sleeping with the bow on my back. Oh no, I think I just put it on. I don't think I saw it when I was laying down. Okay, we had to have the animation of us waking up, I guess. Show that we actually slept. Alright, Bert, this world can't be saved. Well, was that a challenge? I know, right?
Master Kat, the Exarch awaits you within.
Let's go. Enter the ocular. Oh, I actually get to run around in here. Okay. Path to the source. Oh, portal. Sorry, I thought I said path. I guess that's how I go back to the source. Oh, shit.
Ah, how did you find your new quarters? I trust you were able to rest.
I'm gonna tell him about Ardbert. I had a ghostly visitor. Sorry for the squeakies.
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know.
What? Are we not gonna say who the visitor was?
Now, let us return to the subject of the Scion's whereabouts.
My wall's an idiot sometimes.
Sometimes.
One brain cell. I warned you.
This map shows the lands of Northrend, the only area to be spared the flood of light. The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland. To the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger.
Of course, Urianger is hanging out with the Fae.
To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest.
This font
Alas,
is different.
Neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armorang. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin-Eaters. In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe. So, will it be Calicia or Armorang? It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you have made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount.
Oh shit.
Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of Sin-Eaters. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
All right. We got paints.
It's a lot of words for we lost Thancred.
Yeah, we lost Thancred. It's fine.